All right. And once we can successfully register our user, now let's take a look at how we can programmatically navigate the user from the register to a dashboard. And the way we'll do that, we'll need to look for use effect, which by the way should be already in register. I'm just making sure that you definitely have it. That is coming from React. And then we have this use navigate hook from React router down. Then inside of the register component, I want to get the user from my state. And also I want to invoke the use navigate hook, which is going to return me a navigate. Then in the use effect, I want to check for the user. And if the user is present, basically if it's not null, then I'm going to navigate to my homepage, which is what? Which is my dashboard. Now you're probably wondering, well, why do we have this set timeout? Well, because I do set up the alert and I showcase that alert here. Remember the redirecting one. And it's just my preference to showcase that. Do you have to do that? Absolutely not. Like I previously mentioned with hide alert, that is optional. The same as this one. If you want to right away navigate away, that's totally up to you. And then in the use effect, in the dependency array, I want to pass in the user. So every time we'll invoke this, whether that is going to be initial render or when the user changes, which is going to be in our case, when we register or log in the user. And then it's going to complain that it's also looking for navigate, and therefore we'll add that one as well. So let's go to a register. Like I said, I already have the use effect, so that should do it. And then I want to look for import, use, and navigate. That's the hook coming from the React router down. And then once I have this in place, I want to scroll down, and where I'm looking for is loading and show alert. I also want to check for my user in the state, because remember, with our actions in the reducer, this is what we're changing. And then I have this comment right now, which I'm going to remove. And let's just set up navigate. Navigate is equal to use and navigate, and let's invoke it. And I'm just going to set it up on top. So I clearly see that these are my local values. These are my global values coming from the app context. And this is my navigate. Then let's keep on scrolling. And then right after the onSubmit, let's go with our use effect. We'll say use effect. And then in here, let's pass in that callback function, which is going to be invoked. And now let's set up right away our dependency array. And in here, I want to pass in the user as well as navigate. Just to reiterate, this means that we'll invoke this one on initial render and every time the user or navigate changes. And then let's set up the condition where I'm going to say if user is true. So if user exists, now let's navigate to a dashboard. And again, you can simply go with navigate, and then you'll need to pass in the URL. Now, where is the dashboard? Well, that is a homepage, correct? That's how we set up everything. But it is my preference to showcase for a little bit that alert. That's it. Therefore, I'm going to go with set and then timeout. And then in there, we want to pass in the callback function, which is going to be invoked, and then in how long. And therefore, since I know that my alert is for 3 seconds, I'll also do it over here. Do you have to do that? No, for the last time, you don't have to. This is really optional. So let's pass in the navigate in the function body. Let's save it. And this is going to be the case where I'm going to stop removing the John from the database, and I'll simply go with Peter, pretty much a different member. And then in the process, I'll also show you how we're displaying alert. So let's go here with name, then Peter at petermail.com, or let's just stick with Gmail just so we're consistent. And then let's also set up our dummy password, and voila, we have user created. I have all this data in console, and then eventually we navigate to the dashboard page. Now, in my case, since I don't want to overpopulate the console, I will swing back to the app context, and I'll comment this one out just so it stays here for reference. And the same is going to be over here. So let's save both of them. And now we successfully have added the functionality in place where once we register the user or log in the user eventually, then we'll navigate away from the register page to a dashboard page, which is our homepage. And the way we do that, we use use navigate hook coming from React Router DOM. We get back navigate, and then we just invoke it and pass in the URL where basically we want to navigate. And since in our case, the dashboard is our homepage, that's why we just pass in the /.